Somebody take wheat and they pour bleach in it. Will you drink it? No. Okay, so why do we think we can eat that one? This, what gets me mad is in the process, they've removed all the other good things. 94% of the 90% of the fiber, 84% of the iron, of the B vitamins, all the good things in the process, they've destroyed them. So, whole food plant-based, I'm going to share with you quickly two concepts when we do whole food plant-based. The concept of calorie density, because at the end of the day, if you feel hungry, you're going to eat. Look, 500 calories of oil, this is where it is, doesn't go very far. But look at 500 calories of fruit and vegetables. You're full. So when you're full, what do? You don't eat anymore. The second concept is the concept of nutrient density. I don't know about you, but when I invest my money, I want the maximum return on investment. Now that I am much more educated, and I started doing that almost 23 years ago, when I put food in my mouth, I want to have the maximum amount of nutrient in it. I was putting too much. The big problem that I was having before was I was eating too much of the good thing, because I was taking the nuts and I would basically throw them by the mouthful. One cashew is 10 calories. I don't care how whole food it is. 10 calories is 10 calories. You eat 2,000 calories, it's going to show. This was what I was doing. So pick in here. Green leafy vegetables. Here's a list. Very good list. And I can share that information with you. It's a work by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. Where do I go from here? You've been very kind, very nice to listen to me. So I'm going to give you 3 tips, okay? Number 1, find your tribe. Find your group. Be patient. Be kind to yourself. Find your tribe. Do you know why Weight Watchers and Alcoholics Anonymous works? It's the group. Mm-hmm. It's the group. And ladies, when we talk, in my case, I did it with my husband. You don't have to do it with your husband. It could be a group at work. That's why I teach my classes in groups, because the power of the group is enormous. Find your tribe. And please, your husband or your partner doesn't have to be your tribe. And if you're going to do that, no nagging. You're going to destroy him because you're going to turn him off entirely. Your children, no nagging. Find your tribe, people who wants to do it so that you support each other together. And this is important because I've seen my sister going to her husband, no, leave him alone, he's an adult. You heard the same thing. If he loves his medication, let him love it. Now, tonight when you go to the bedroom, act unsatisfied. He's going to work on it. Yes. Tip number 2. Oh, my tribe was my husband, by the way. Together, this is us in December 2016. This is what we are now. Together, we lost 100 pounds.
Wow. It's a beautiful picture.
Mm-hmm. This was the first time I had the long eyelashes, the one that you add it. I don't use makeup. So I went to a wedding and they just maquillage bell me. So, second tip, do me a favor. My daughter is called Dr. Guiton. She has a lab in the University of California somewhere. Leave the concept of protein, calcium, carbohydrate, fat, and this, leave that to the lab. Leave that to the lab. Go for whole food, plant-based, whole food, food that you know. It is called an apple, and they have name. It's called an apple. It's called a pear. It's called beans. It's called oatmeal, buckwheat. It's called cashew. They have names. We can recognize them. Go for them. Because why do we dare telling that to people? It's because the American Dietetic Association has done the research looking at people eating whole food plant-based. And yes, you eat that way, you're going to have all the nutrients that you need. So you don't have to worry. Go for diversity, colors, and all. And go for food with a lot of fiber in it. Do we know a group of food with 0 fiber?
Dairy.
Animal food have 0 fiber in it. And somebody wants to write a book actually called It's About the Fiber, Dummy. The research is being done in California where they're showing that the more fiber, and they have different kinds of fibers, and each fiber has its specialty and well fiber. And me, I am saying it's the spices, and I'm going to write my book to say it's the spices, dummy. So please find your spices, find your herbs. It's unbelievable what parsley, how parsley could change a dish. Or a little bit of pepper. I don't care which one you like, go with the basic one at the beginning. Start playing with them. Instead of going out with a bag of medication, go out with your bag of spices. So anywhere you are, they give it to you. You say, I want it a little bit hot, I want it a little bit tingy, I want it a little bit, whatever. Salt is not a spice, by the way. Salt is the last one. The beauty of spices also is they have medicinal values. I'll give you my own personal example. After being eating that way for more than a year or so, I still had my, how do you call that? Bursitis. And I'm like, hey, doc, I've cleaned up my thing. What's going on with that thing? He's like, hey, what you have to do now is do the turmeric and do the ginger and all. So turmeric, for example, if you're going to have it, you have to add it with black pepper, because the black pepper actually make the turmeric more potent. So now I take my turmeric, I have my turmeric, I add it everywhere, and I even make my own turmeric pills so that I'm sure I consume enough of it because I have the bursitis. But and each one of those spices have a medicinal property. It's unbelievable. Other style of medicine that Western medicine didn't know. Now they know.
Would you tell me what you do with turmeric for your bursitis?
For my, I just swallow it.
So it's just a tablet?
Yeah, so I cook with it when I'm cooking, and also because I have the bursitis, I make my own tablet with pepper, black pepper, 10% black pepper, 90% turmeric, and I put that in the tablet. And for me, I take 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. And I did the following. I used myself as a guinea pig. I stopped eating, I stopped taking it to see if it was going to make a difference. Oh yeah, I couldn't sleep on my side. And I also went, and when I stopped it, I also went and I ate the bread, because I love bread. I was raised in the French system, so there was this bread that they sell at UFC, actually come from Canada. It's called Boulard. Oh la la. But you know, I paid the consequences later. So quickly, I came back to my turmeric in the evening.
And you just put it in little capsules?
Yeah, I put it in my capsule. I have a little capsule maker. It costs like $20. Very easy to make. You take my capsule, make it. It's cheaper for me than to go buy them at. Everybody now is selling turmeric with pepper, but it's cheaper for me. I always go for saving money.
Thank you.
So, if you want more, I offer 2 programs. A small one, 3 weeks. Very practical. You finish that 3 weeks, you start by having a foundation of food, and then you can start working on everything else. Then we have the hospital program, the one that the hospital is teaching cheap, the Complete Health Improvement Program, which is the 9 to 12 weeks program that I facilitate also. And when you sign up on cheap, they give you this and the book and a whole bunch of support material.
So would you take your 3-week first and then move to CHIP?
No, you can do it either way. I don't care. Some people, here's the difference between the 2 programs. Some people like to get the education, the rationale behind things and all, and then they change their food because they understand it. CHIP is wonderful for them. Some people understand it. They're like, hey, it's so overwhelming to get started. Where do I get started? I don't like to give recipes to people. No, I like to work with my customers, and we find a foundation and we make it real, practical. We make it real where we can make a salad dressing without oil. It's very tasty and yummy. We can make chili without any meat and all, voila. And once they leave those 3 weeks, it's like meeting once a week for 90 minutes, where we are very, very, very practical. Very practical. You leave that 3 weeks, you can make a vinaigrette, at least 2 kinds of it. You can make a few things with your beans, and you can eat your vegetables, and you can make your soup. And if I convinced you to love squash, I love squash. It's so delicious. So cheap is, I talked about cheap in there. In conclusion, please, it's your life, it's your health, but it's more importantly, it's your choice. Make it happen. So I left a few minutes, I believe, for some questions, but remember, the clock is ticking. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, excellent.